Hi guys, today I'm going to present you a new book called A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Angle, and I highly recommend this book towards you because it has won the Newbery Golden Prize, and this book is also full of love and descriptions, great adventures. So today we're going to tuck into this book and explore its adventures. It all starts with three main characters. Meg, a child who's about 15 or 14-year-old in her 7th grade. Calvin, her friend, Meg's friend, in 8th grade. And finally, Charles Willis, Meg's little brother, who's only 5 years old, but he's a genius. So this main idea of this book is about them finding their scientist father, who was a scientist, and they went to different planets. First they went to the Happy Medium's planet and then to the Camazot's planet. On the way they met three witches called Mrs. Watson, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. Witch. The two witches helped them to go to the Happy Medium, and they looked through a transparent ball which they could look at Mrs. Murray and what they are doing on Earth. Like, they looked at Meg's mother, Mrs. Murray, and she was writing to her father as usual. After that, they went to the planet Camazotz, and they met and they went into the Central Intelligence Tower. But Mrs. Who, Mrs. Watson, and Mrs. Witch didn't follow them because they went back to Earth to make to test an experiment. But so they didn't have time to come with Meg and the two other boys to Camazotz. So they went into the Central Intelligence building and found out that a gigantic, ugly, huge brain was controlling everything. That's why they do things all in rhythm. Like when they close the doors, they close it together. And when they pat the basketball, they pat it all together in rhythm. After they met the red-eyed man, Charles Willis was controlled by it. So he turned up against Justice and Meg and Calvin. But he still led Meg and Calvin to Meg's father. They saw him imprisoned in a cell. Eventually, they used Mrs. Who's glasses, which Mrs. Who said you can only use it when you're desperate and you don't have any hope left. To go inside and save his father. They came out and found out that Charles Willis led them to it. And you will find out that it is controlling everything, like I just said previously. But they can't control it to let Charles Willis out of its control. So they went back to the planet of Happy Medium and met Mrs. Witch, Mrs. Watson, and Mrs. Who. They also met a beast on the planet, which is kind of like an animal of the planet, and they named Aunt Beast. They began a journey, so they decided that Meg should be the one who go and save Charles Willis, who was still controlled by it and still on Camazotz. So Meg went to Camazotz alone and saved Charles Willis by saying several times, "I love you, Charles Willis. I love you, Charles Willis." And she and Charles Willis came back to the Happy Medium planet, and they went back to Earth, and they met, and what a happy family reunion. And that's the end of the story, but I think that that's a wonderful description that I could read it to you because I told you so that this book is full of wonderful descriptions and adventures. So it's like this. They were standing on a hill, and as Meg looked about her, she felt that it could easily be a hill on Earth. There were the familiar trees she knew so well at home, birches, pines, maples, and though it was warmer than it had been when they so precisely left the apple orchard, there was a faintly autumnal touch to the air. Near them were several small trees with reddened leaves very like sumach, and a big patch of golden red like flowers. As she looked down the hill, she could see the smoke downs of a town, and it might have been one of any number of immediate towns. There seemed to be nothing strange or different or frightening in the landscape. And this book is full of love inside it too. Like other series of books, Harry Potter, The Graveyard Book, and like also The Girl Who Drank the Moon. They're all full of love. Love leads you to victory. Love leads you to happiness. Love leads you to everything. So I think that's the end of my book review, and I'll see you next time. Bye.